So great to have you back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. And talking about pictures, here are some of the pictures you sent into our eyewitness portal. First is this one. It's coming from Kubwa in Abuja. Our eyewitness reporter wants the ministry responsible for this infrastructure to stop telecom companies from laying pipes and fiber optic cables on pedestrian bridges and other bridges across the country. Now, this next picture is a collapsed public convenience structure in Ajao Estate Primary School in Lagos State. Our eyewitness reporter is asking the Lagos State government to fix this facility. This one is from the University of Benin Road in Owowo, Benin City. Our eyewitness reporter wants commercial bus drivers to be more careful. He says no life was lost, but passengers in this vehicle sustained minor injuries. And still on road accidents, but this time is from the old garage Freedom Park in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. Our eyewitness reporter says a Kano-bound cargo train derailed this morning and goods worth millions of naira were destroyed. Many thanks for sending in those images, and we do encourage you to keep them coming. And talking about that in picture, our eyewitness reporter sent a Kano-bound train from Lagos derailing in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, and goods worth millions of naira destroyed. The mishap was said to have occurred near the Nigeria Railway Corporation terminal at about 1:30 a.m. According to the eyewitness reports we got, the cargo part of the train veered off the track and disconnected from other coaches conveying passengers. Hoodlums were said to have taken advantage of the situation to cut away some of the goods left in the coaches. Meanwhile, a corpse believed to be a victim was found on the rail track a few meters away from the scene of the accident. And we go back to our major story, the epoch-making event in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, as the first Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library is commissioned in his hometown. It attracted dignitaries from inside and outside the country.
In 1941, the 32nd President of the United States of America, President Franklin Roosevelt, became the first to dedicate a presidential library in America. Here in Nigeria, and 12 years after, he first conceived the idea of leaving behind the records of the past for future generations. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo becomes the first African leader to open a presidential library on the continent. The event also coincides with his 80th birthday celebration. Dignitaries from within and outside Nigeria converge on Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, and the cradle of Western education in Nigeria. First, a quick tour of the static exhibition section of the library by guests, led by the host, former President Obasanjo, and Nigeria's acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Historical items here include relics, artifacts, personal effects, and items that form part of General Obasanjo's lifetime, from early life and education to career in the army, life after the army, and as a civilian leader. Inside the hall, a true picture of the roll call leaves no one in doubt about the personality of Chief Obasanjo.
I congratulate the chief promoter of this presidential library.
The almost endless list includes serving and former world and African leaders, royal fathers, and members of the business community. They include former President Goodluck Jonathan and his vice Namadi Sambo, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, and Chief Ernest Shoneko, former Nigerian envoy to the United Kingdom Dr. Christopher Kolade, former Ghanaian leader Mr. John Kufuor, former United Nations Secretary General Mr. Kofi Annan, former Commonwealth scribe Chief Emeka Nyoku, Prince Michael of Kent, businessman Aliko Dangote, as well as serving and former state governors.
For sure, how our dreams will come true and how our vision will be realized.
The co-chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library Foundation, Dr. Kolade, is excited at the potential of the project, which boasts over 4,000 artifacts, about 2 million materials and books, and 15 million pages of documents.
Through these items, we already have sufficient capacity to cater to the research needs of scholars and students from all over the world. And this week already, we have received cheering reports of the activities of the Center for Human Security, described by Chief Obasanjo himself as the brain box of the Presidential Library.
The President of Liberia and chairperson of the occasion, Mrs. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, is proud that this is happening in her lifetime.
We take pride that this is our own history, your own history, your nation's history, made, recorded, presented, and graphically displayed by ourselves, by yourselves, through these structures for prosperity. History will bear truth to this precedent-setting presidential initiative in Africa that will spur a strong legacy for successful retiring presidents to emulate, to record and preserve the history of nation building for prosperity and for the benefit of today and future generations.
For Nigeria's acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Nigeria has a lot to learn, especially from its past mistakes.
It is one sure way of preserving the lessons, the failures, and the successes of the past, just so that we can approach the future with more sure-footedness and less pain. History is the most compassionate teacher. President Olusegun Obasanjo is therefore a gift to us all in various ways, being so intricately tied to the history of Nigeria.
And then former President Obasanjo tells the audience about his vision for the library.
There must be enough facilities to serve the needs of the community and to impact positively on the community. In a way, it must be a community project from the services point of view. It must be active and dynamic, not just cold, static, inactive, but also instructive and inspiring. It must also be a center of knowledge, information, and learning. So, we have a mission to preserve the past, capture the present, inspire the future, sustain our culture, and encourage tourism.
The state governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, is also proud that this vision adds another feather to the state's cap.
This library will definitely be of a huge advantage to a people that is always eager to learn and to advance human development. No doubt this presidential library, modeled after the American Presidential Library, will be a veritable source of intellectual material for the social, political development of not only Nigeria, but Africa as a whole. Without mincing word, our dear state, Ogun State, is proud to host this legacy as a center for social, political, and economic think tank and researches.
The Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library currently boasts an archive section, a center for human security, and an institute for African collaboration and international understanding. Nigerians, Africa, and the world over can only continue to benefit from the wealth of the resource contained in this edifice.
Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has condemned the arrest of the National Commandant of the Peace Corps of Nigeria, Mr. Dixon Akol, by the Nigerian police. After securing the release of Mr. Akol, he told journalists that the police invasion of the Peace Corps headquarters was illegal.
Apart from the registration of trustees under the Companies and Allied Matters Act, There are two judgments of our court, of the Federal High Court, restraining the police from harassing or intimidating the members of the organization. In a judgment delivered on the 29th of September 2011, challenged the police, which claimed in court then to have proscribed the organization. The court made it abundantly clear that the police or any institution of the government and the SSS cannot, on its own or on their own, proscribe any organization without a court order. And that since none was produced in that case, proscription was declared illegal and unconstitutional. We have passed this judgment to the police authorities, and happily our clients were granted bail yesterday. We're going to keep our fingers crossed to find out, while waiting for further action on the part of the police, whether they're going to be charged, if they have committed any offense.
When the news at 10 returns, the Central Bank of Nigeria plans to compel banks to sell business and personal travel allowances to customers within 24 hours. That's on Business News. Join us again.